What is up, YouTube? We are back again for another episode of Standalone Complex. Ghost in the Shell. Standalone Complex. Episode 4, called Interceptor. I have a feeling it's gonna get a little serious this time. For those of you guys just kind of catching up, again, I have seen this series once before, and it's been some years. A lot of things I forgot, but my memory's getting jogged as we kind of go along, so we're going to kind of unravel this as we go along. You know, there might be moments where I'm just like, oh, I remember everything about this, but I will do my best to not spoil the episode as we go along. The only thing I will reveal is, oh shit, I remember. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this episode. I'm excited for this one. I don't know why. I have no information on it other than the name. So we're going to do this now. We're going to count down into the episode, getting into it. So far, we're getting like a nice balance of different types of stories that we're being told. We're getting into like the everyday life of Section 9 and kind of diving into like, you know, bigger physical threats, smaller threats, or just like small stories where they just happen to kind of stumble upon this thing where maybe it wasn't really a huge deal, but it just involves like political figures or family members, which is cool. So they're giving us a nice variety of like where their jurisdiction lies, what they find to be important to them or worth, or a case just worth taking on, you know, so that's pretty cool.
What are you doing down here after hours?
Hell of a question. I was working. You know what that is? Working.
Fuck you.
What you're doing?
Yeah.
If I had a boss that told me that, I'd be like, fuck you.
How about a drink? Just you and me.
I can't. Sorry.
So we've stumbled upon something. The information must be protected.
Hello? Togusa, this is Yamaguchi. We worked at headquarters together. Sorry to call so late out of the blue and all, but I'm analyzing some sensitive data and I need a second opinion. Okay if I bring it to you?
You mean now? Sure, I guess.
You remember the Laughing Man case?
He was the guy who kidnapped the CEO of a Micro Machine Corp and had the nerve to hold him for ransom, but that was 6 years ago.
It goes further up than that. Maybe all the way to the top. I'll tell you more when I see you. I'll be there in the
All the way to the top.
All right.
That was our first name drop for the Laughing Man. That's going to be a very important name for those of you that don't know.
Interceptor slipping in my eyes too!
Oh shit. He's fine. He's gonna come walking through that door any minute.
Did Togusa spend the whole night here?
Yeah, I guess. He said he had to wait for someone.
Police officer burned beyond recognition?
Are you certain?
Yes, he said there was suspicious activity in his unit. He sounded very worried to me at the time.
So you think his accident wasn't an accident?
I don't have any evidence, but the timing's very convenient.
This agent had inside information that may be very pertinent. We need to follow it up, but we need to do it quietly. About 3 days. See what you can find out.
Thank you very much, sir.
Let's do this.
I don't like anything about this case. Not the hacker, the corporations, or the cops.
Right.
Very mysterious case indeed. Seems like no one has any information on the Laughing Man in general other than that he exists.
There was a note inside saying to give it to you. He said you'd know what to do with it.
Really? Are you certain that this is what he wanted me to see?
Yes. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
Next. 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 So, my babe does stuff like this too sometimes. In fact, maybe I better give her a call now.
Let me make sure that she does that too later on.
C92? Enlarge 4 to 13.
He's getting it.
Enlarge 42 to 30. In every photo, there's one thing missing. The camera.
The camera.
Plus, our suspect has a beef against Serrano.
Serrano.
Serrano Genomics. First micro-machine company hit by the Laughing Man. They were also the first one we investigated.
So you must be close to arresting the suspect.
Yes and no. The top brass are sitting on the fence. We've got lots of circumstantial evidence, but they want more. Our orders are to catch him in the act, so that's what we're trying to do.
How's that done?
Interceptors.
Interceptors?
That's them. Plant him on a suspect, and you can see everything he's doing from his point of view. Plus, they're good for 3 months, and we don't even have...
Which is what they did to that guy. But why?
Hell, when he takes a piss, we can measure the trajectory.
Huh? What did you just say?
I said measure the trajectory.
Before that, take a piss? Yeah. That's the clue.
They were all implanted with interceptors without their knowledge.
This is the suspicious activity Yamaguchi tried to warn you about, and he thought it went all the way to the top.
The law requires a neutral third-party observer. They didn't have one of those either. Instead, they brought the investigation team in for some bogus medical checkups and implanted the interceptors in them. As far as I can tell, every guy in the department was under round-the-clock surveillance.
Don't scare me like that.
You're such a big baby. Don't worry, I'll be gentle. I simply want you to leak this information to the reporters who pass through this place. But not the ones taking government payoffs. Are you following me, Geronimo?
Sorry, business has dropped off. I don't get many classy customers anymore.
You don't say. And wouldn't it be a shame if the cybercops found out that this place is a server for info-terrorists and you're right in the middle of it?
I see you still like to make these little inside jokes.
I'm so glad we have an understanding.
I wonder what made them decide on that's the voice for this guy.
Dido called a press conference.
Yeah, we got a bigger reaction than we ever imagined.
Dido was in charge the first time Laughing Man struck, and he handled the initial investigations. It looks like there's something his people want to keep in-house, and they're going to great lengths to cover it up.
That's gotta be scary to have that kind of technology where people are literally like, I mean, we're kind of a stone's throw away from that since we have our phones and laptops with cameras and things like that, but like to actually like be in your eyes, that would be kind of freaky.
And we offer those investigators who were assigned to this case, as well as their families, our deepest and most sincere apologies.
What kind of answer is that?
Oh shit, here we go.
Superintendent General Dido, pleased to meet you. But you already know who I am, don't you?
I tried to avoid this. I didn't want to be involved in your world any longer.
You watching? That guy's cyberbrain is being hacked into.
But I've changed my mind because, well, this show you put on today is pitiful.
If you put on another performance that rings as false as this one, I will be forced to remove you from the stage.
So badass.
Major, get me positive verification.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yep. I definitely remember that whole ending part there. Like, that's like one of the coolest moments in the show amongst a crap ton of cool moments in the show. That part was hard to forget. So yeah, that's our first introduction to the Laughing Man, and it's the whole scene is amazing. It's the dialogue, and even though he's speaking through that guy, like you already kind of feel like that guy, his voice is like not anywhere near like what the actual Laughing Man's voice actually is, but it's still very effective, and the dialogue and just the animation, voice acting, the music going along with it's like really intense. It's to me, that's like such an awesome scene right there. That was such a badass scene. But yeah, so it took a case like this one with the Interceptors to bring him back out, because he was involved with a situation prior, which we'll go into. We'll go into that situation, as it occurs throughout the show, because I'm sure we're gonna really dive into it and see what the Laughing Man is all about. So, but yeah, this episode was awesome. It definitely the end, at least the end part of this episode was like top tier for me. So, but yeah, so that's it. I guess thanks guys for coming by. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate your time here. And yeah, so I do have a Patreon as well. It's going to be at least a week ahead, so right away you're going to be able to see clear reactions and full reactions. So any support you can give would be great. Would love to do this in a much bigger capacity. Right now we're just doing this one show, but gotta start somewhere, so this is what we're doing. So, but thanks again, thanks for coming by, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.